Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you like the AK. The video's doing really well, so I think a lot of you are waiting for that one maybe. Maybe not so much this one, but I thought it was cool. I saw it on the Hong Kong websites and then one of the UK distributors had it in, so I thought I might as well pick one up. Pick this and another one up, but this is a Salient Arms GRY from CYMA CGS EMG, and the Salient Arms GRY was something that came out and was hugely popular years ago. I think someone tells me that Salient is no longer a company. I think that might be true. So I think they must have gone bust or something like that, but EMG still had the rights to produce the licensing or something. I'm not too sure. But they kind of died off and no one was really talking about Salient stuff anymore. I was a massive Salient Arms fan. I just really liked the style and stuff and the way that they were doing things. They did a couple of like Glock replicas and stuff like that. But the GRY was the one that I always loved. I tried years and years and years ago to get, I think GMP were doing the electric ones, and I couldn't quite get one because they were quite popular at the time. However, fast forward a number of years, and EMG and CYMA with their CGS gas lineup, now they do electric versions of this stuff as well. I went for the short version, so I think they do it in 3 different lengths. They do like a 14.5-ish, a 9 and a 7-ish. I'm not 100% sure on the barrel lengths, but I went with the short one and I went with the grey. And I think this actually looks really, really good. So we get, in the box, we get the replica itself. We get a single CGS magazine, which is like a Stanag magazine. Sounds really, really hollow. Kind of weird. Might have to look at that in future. Also in the box, we get probably one of the best speed loaders airsoft companies supply. Why this is ripped, I don't know. It's like it's been opened before. But so we get a speed loader. These CGS speed loaders are some of the best speed loaders I've ever had, free with anything. We get a little Salient Arms International certificate of authenticity there from the EMG. I don't think any of us really stress too much about that, do we? So I've got a bunch of these, and every time I get a CGS now, if it comes with one of these, I have it to one side, because these are, if EMG sell these, I'm not sure whether it's just an off-the-shelf cheap M4 speed loader with like a CGS brand on there, but I've tried M4 speed loaders many times and they're always hit and miss. These ones actually are pretty damn good, so definitely keep that. So we've got the GRY, we've got a gas Stanag style magazine, and the only thing that I'll say on this, I don't know if it's because it's the grey model and not the black model, but the bolt on this is almost like a really subtle, like titanium champagne-y colour. I always thought Salient stuff has gold. Now we can see this because on the SLR that I've been building for far too long, this has a Salient bolt, and you can see it's gold. That was a Guns Modified stainless one. So maybe on the grey models they did it a bit differently. I mean, it's not a huge issue. I actually kind of like the more subtle effect of the champagne coloured bolt compared to a gold one. So this is running on the CGS system, which is kind of like an MWS but not at the same time. So they're not, you know, massively compatible with the Marui MWS system. There are a couple of changes. Some people say that you can convert them over, and basically what you do is you'd swap over the trigger box and the bolt. I believe that might be true, that might not be. And you can run it as like a normal MWS thing there. So the CGS models I've tried so far, the Noveski shot really well. I was shooting a bit warm though. The small strike one shot really well. It just, the accuracy and the range were massively detrimental. You know, I don't know why. You couldn't hit anything with it, but it was a cool little PDW, and they were quite expensive. So this is heavily covered in trademarks. So we've got Salient on the bolt there. We've got the Salient logo here on the rail. We've got some bits. I think that's the EMG logo just there. Your safe fire and auto, sorry. You've got Salient markings in the receiver at the back here. You've got Salient Arms International at the top there. We flip it round. We've got Salient SAI Las Vegas, Nevada. Salient there. Salient on the grip. Salient on the stock. Obviously here as well, Mod, GRY, Cal Multi, we've got Salient there, Salient there. It's just got the Salient markings everywhere. It's like they had one of those hand stamps, you know, they give you when you go into a club, and they just went everywhere with it. So the stock is actually pretty cool. So usually I tend to change a lot of stocks because I don't get on with all of them. This one is actually a rip stock, so you can rip it out like that, and the button to collapse it is actually hidden at the back here. You've got QD sling points on both sides, both sides, and you've got QD sling point here. You've also got QD sling points here, 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 here. You've got M-lock on it, you've got rail sections on it. I honestly believe that the GRY was just so far ahead of its time when it came out, and you could see it in, I think it featured in a couple of movies. The one that is at the front of my mind is like the Transformers movies. There was that guy that was a bad guy, and I'm sure he was rocking something like this, maybe the longer one. So they've got this huge muzzle brake sort of flash hider deal going on here. So you've got a little latch that you pull at the bottom, you rotate it, and this will come off. And this thing doesn't half resonate for a while. So what I also think is interesting is I was on the Hong Kong websites browsing today, and EMG are actually selling a tracer unit for these, where it's basically this. So you could literally just quick detach it on the front, and I'm like, that is genius. So yeah, very cool indeed. We've got EMG markings on the iron sights here, the rail section, or the rail itself. You can actually take these off really easy as well. You just pop this pin out on the bottom here. This latch will come up. I have to be careful because I almost sliced my fingers open the first time I did this. And then we just pull it, and we can take it all apart. So yeah, not too shabby. I mean, it's probably not to everybody's taste, but I had such a liking to this when they came about and they were being used. And you know, we obviously don't get the real stuff here in the UK, but when the airsoft manufacturers were making stuff like GMP, they were doing the electric one. This was before people HPA'd everything. This was a long time ago. Back then, I think we were lucky to have MOSFETs, you know. So just going to gas this mag up here. So yeah, there we have it. Let's get to chrono in this thing. I've got some BBs here, so I am running out of 0.3s, so I'm just going to use this one mag to chrono it on some 0.3s, and then we'll get to some mag compatibility testing to see if this thing will work with other magazines. So give me a jiffy and we'll set the chrono up, and then we'll chrono this thing and see what it's doing. Right, chrono's set up. We're set to 0.3s. This mag didn't take a lot of gas, so we might need to purge it. So if it does run out, don't worry about that too much. We've had good results out the Lancer mags over time. I did have one here. Where that's gone, I'm not... Oh, it's over here. Here we go. Lancer mags. So these will work in the CGS as well. I think this looks even better. I mean, that suits the rifle down to a T. It's very futuristic styling. But we're going to... We've filled this mag all the way up to the brim, so I'm going to lock the bolt back like that before I put it in. We don't want to damage the nozzle, obviously shoving it up into the bolt there. So let's give it a quick chrono. This was bought in the UK from a UK distributor, so I would like to think that it's not hot, but here we go. So 0.9 joules, 0.95. We are dying off on the gas, so I think we need to just purge it a little bit. I think we've also got rounds rolling down the barrel, so we might need to add some hop onto this thing. I'm not a fan of the CGS hop systems in terms of how they operate and put pressure on. So we actually have to use like a flathead screwdriver, and there's a flat-headed screw in there. So I'm just, the hop was all the way off, so I'm going to put it halfway on, and hopefully that will hold the BBs in the barrel. Yeah, and we can get a proper chrono in. So we're a bit all over the place there. Started out at 0.9 joules, and now it's throwing a little bit of a wobbly. So let's turn that off just a little bit. We might have turned it on too much. So it's kind of all over the place. We're getting low readings now of 0.76 joules. The BBs are still rolling out the barrel here. So I'm not exactly entirely sure what's going on. Maybe, now it is these very weird CGS hop systems, which I am not a fan of at all. But, and you'll probably be saying, well, why on earth did you go with a CGS if you're not a massive fan of platforming? It's the only people doing this stuff at an affordable price. So there might be people doing conversion kits out there, I'm not too sure, but we're getting 0.5 a joule now, and we just locked up a bit there, but it could also be this mag. So what we're going to do, we're going to give it a chance. We're going to switch to a Lancer. We know these mags work pretty good, so we'll pop some gas in this. What I'm also going to do is switch out the ammo because I'm running low on .3s. I've got a couple more guns to chrono, and I'm not going to get a chance to order more rounds in before Christmas. So let's pop this open here, and I'm just going to scoop in some 2.5s just because I've got plenty of them. What I will say is, out of the CGS guns that I've tried, this one seems to be struggling the most. So let's hope it's something fairly simple. Right, let's fill this mag up here, picking up these speed loaders, and then it wouldn't feed in. So let's try it on a Lancer mag, see if it's any better. So 0.989. So it's about a joule or just under. However, it smells weird. It smells really strange, which I'm not entirely sure why. It's got a very weird smell to it. Right, we've got DE mags. What I'm going to do, take a quick break. Obviously it'll be a couple of seconds for you, but I'm just going to get some mags prepped, and then we'll try some different branded mags in it and see if it makes any difference. First thing I want to do, I'm going to take the little Strike Industries PW that we got, which did seem to work pretty well. I'm going to try it with the Stanag that came with this Salient gun. So we'll see if it's the mag or if it's the rifle. Might be the mag. Might be the mag. Let's see if we can lock this back. No. We are empty. Right, we're going to try some different mags. Some of them might be gas, some of them might not be, but we're just going to go through them and see what's what. So we've got a version 1 Guns Modified P mag. Seems to work, but it is struggling. It must be the oil. It must be the oil they've put on this thing. It smells really, really weird. Ooh, it's very strange, but it's like it's just got no power there. Do we have... There's no restrictor in there that I can see. It is spitting out, I don't know if you can see all this. It is spitting out a ton of oil. But we're just going to keep going. The mags are working. There's obviously something going on with the gun, but Strike Industries mag from Guns Modify, the new one. It won't even lock back. But, right, that works. Right, true tested Marui MWS mag. Let's give this one a go. Oh no, we have got a round in the chamber. Right, just because I want to be sure. Marui mag. You know what? It's not the first time this gun's ever done that. You really have to make sure, like it is in there. Right, it's in there, yeah? If I slightly move the mag, God, that is weird. That is really weird. Right, Maru mag, it works, but for some reason all these magazines have just got no poke behind them. There does seem to be some jankiness going on. I can't get it to lock back. It's obviously not travelling far enough. That is a double eagle Stanag. We've got a salvo Stanag. They're pretty much the same thing. Mags just do not want to go in. Yeah, just every magazine you fire through, it just feels like it's got no ammo in it. Double Eagle Stanag version, Double Eagle PMag version 2. Yeah, they won't lock back even when I try and make it to. So, Double Eagle Daniel Defense magazine. Why are you so picky? They are going in there really stiff. Maybe that's the issue, but then it does the same on the CGS mags. So there is like, I don't know if you can see it. Can you see that? The amount of oil that's like sprayed out, and it's like covered in it. May need to give it a good clean, but there's definitely something going on with the bolt where it's not happy. Let's try it. Well, you can see where the top of these Lancer mag's now covered in oil as well, so we might have to give it a deep clean. Maybe someone, maybe it's been assembled in the VFC factory, who knows. Right, now it sounds like there's something loose in there. Oh, I was super excited for this one, and we've been slightly disappointed. Like I say, the other two CGS seem to be perfectly fine. Oh, that's weird. That is weird. So it does say adjust here for the, I'm guessing the hammer. So maybe that's been wound all the way out, which is why it's only doing like 0.9 of a joule. We could try giving it a bit. Let's try giving it a little bit and see if that makes a difference. This is the weirdest buffer I've ever seen. Look at that. Bolt Lightning series. Yeah, I mean, it's got oil on it, but it's not like, I wouldn't say it was caked in it. Right. What we're going to do is we're going to regas the mag up. I'm going to switch to green gas. Maybe it's the propane it doesn't like. So I've got a can of green gas here. So it's either it doesn't quite like the propane, or that screw on the hammer's just wound out, so it's struggling to fight against the valve on the mag. It locked back then, but it still feels very anemic. I mean, that bolt, the buffer in the stock tube is extremely light, so maybe that's why it feels like it's not shooting much. So I'm going to change the chrono to a 2 5 and let's see what it's doing. Yeah, a 2.5, we're only doing 0.8 of a joule. So let's pop that back open and see if we can wind that screw in. See how that just wants to shoot out every time? It's not really held in place. It does say adjust here, so I'm guessing that's for the hammer power. We'll give it a go. We'll give it a go. I was hoping not to get like caught up on the shooting part of this test. We haven't even attempted full auto yet, but let's see if that did anything. No, did absolutely nothing. We're still shooting 0.8 of a joule. So let's see if it can do a bit of full auto. Ooh. Right, it's a bit disappointing really. I was really hoping this thing would do well. Maybe there's a problem with it. If there is, we might have to look at getting it replaced. I don't want to do anything drastic with this thing if it's a manufacturer fault. Like I say, we have bought this through one of our dealers. So maybe it's a dud. We could go through the lengthy process of converting this thing to a normal MWS. I mean, it does give us the body and everything else that we need. Maybe that is an option. But the trigger does feel a lot. It is pretty good, but it does feel a hell of a lot stronger now I've dialed that screw in, which is kind of what you'd expect really, isn't it? So, oh, let's get rid of this buffer to go bye-bye. Yeah, it wants to. So we can adjust that back out if it's not helping. Do these have any sort of end pass? No, they don't, not that I can see. There's already a bit of deformation on the bolt. So you can see, you might not be able to see this, there's a bit of deformation on the bolt there. The bolt is extremely light, like it weighs absolutely nothing. So I'm guessing this is aluminium anodized to look like the gold colour, which they've swing and missed it, but yeah, we'll have to have a look at this and see. It doesn't feel like there's no seal on that nozzle. Let's cover all the holes up. There's zero seal on that, so maybe we have to crack that open and have a look. Well, we can't win them all, can we? So that's the Salient Arms GRY from EMG and CYMA and the CGS system. Out the box, it is a bit of a dud. I think as it's running right now, I would not reliably take it to a game and try and use it because it's just, it's not happy. I think I'd be having so many issues that I'd end up just taking myself out of the game and switching to something else. So, you know, if you want to fit suppressors and stuff, you can take this off and fit a suppressor, but I honestly think the whole reason that you buy a GRY is for that very distinctive front end that they have on them. So, very cool looking. It feels great, but at the moment, even if I compare it to the other CGS models I've looked at, it struggles quite heavily. So that is the Salient Arms GRY from Evike and CGS and CYMA. It's the CGS system from CYMA and EMG. I'm mixing all the acronyms up now, but there we go. What do you think? Does it look cool? Do you like the aesthetics of this thing? Or do you think that Salient Arms had its day and we should potentially look to other models now, even though it's going to look fantastic on the wall? Thank you very much for tuning into this video. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll do some more on this thing. We'll try and get to the bottom of it, like many of the other guns I've got that need, you know, looking at to get the best out of them. It is a bit alarming that, you know, it doesn't want to take any of the other magazines, especially the Marui one. One more shoot for the road, so yeah, it's anemic for whatever reason. So there we go. We'll see you in the next video. Take a look at the link in the description for the Agri Discord. Get involved with the community. A like and subscribe goes a long way. But if I don't see you again before Christmas, have a great Christmas and New Year. And as always, from me and Bench, we'll be seeing you in the next one.